welcome to Chuck's Diecast car and model reviews. Today we're going to be taking a look at this rather historical car, famous car, and actually a very cool car. I guess you could say this is in honor of me passing the 250 subscriber mark, which is kind of cool. But this particular model here is the Mazda 787B, and this particular model is in 1/18 scale, and as you can see here is made by CMR Replicars. Now, why is this car important? Well, the reason is because this is the first Japanese car to win Le Mans. It won Le Mans in 1991. And, well, they didn't win another Le Mans for nearly 30 years after that. So that's kind of cool. And this is actually the first and only rotary engine car to win Le Mans as well. So let's go ahead and talk about the car itself. As I said, this car won Le Mans in 1991. It had a four-rotor Wankel engine, a rotary engine, and it had about 900 horsepower, but they detuned it to about 700, I believe, to provide more reliability. It was driven by three drivers, as you can see here. The three drivers were some guy named Wheeler, who I don't know who he is. Second was the British driver Johnny Herbert. Third driver was Bertrand Gachot, a Frenchman. Johnny Herbert was a Formula One winning driver. He raced for Benetton as well as Jaguar or Stewart. I can't remember which, or maybe he raced for both Stewart and Jaguars, since they both were the same team. And Bertrand Gachot raced for Jordan. He was one of Jordan's first drivers. However, he kind of got booted off the team there when he got arrested in London for getting into a fight with and tear gassing a taxi cab driver. He was put in jail, and his spot was taken by some guy named Michael Schumacher. So Bertrand Gachot is a little bit important in the history of Michael Schumacher, because if he hadn't gotten arrested, who knows what would happen to Michael Schumacher. So anyway, he managed to get out of prison, and then he raced for the Mazda team here and ended up winning the race. So let's go ahead and take a look at this model itself. First of all, you can't tell from the video image, but this orange here is fluorescent orange. It's very, very bright, and it is a really cool color. It makes a good contrast to this green color. The model itself is die-cast metal, so it does have some weight to it. It does not have an opening engine bay, unfortunately, but the interior does open. So let's go ahead and take a look at the model itself here, okay? Detail here on the wheels is pretty decent, as you can see here. The brake discs also look pretty good, except they do not turn with the wheels. You can see the Dunlop branding on the tire. Decals look pretty decent, although this one is a little bit out of whack there. It's a little bit high on the left side, I think. But other than that, they're pretty sharp decals there. Okay, taking a look at the front here. This pretty much looks like any other Group C car from the late 80s, early 90s, with the four headlights and the similar bubble type cockpit and everything like that. So it looks a lot like the Sauber Mercedes that raced back then, Jaguar racers also, and a lot like Porsche 962s as well. But detail on the decals, of course, is very nice. You can see here that it does have an intake at the front here, but this is not mesh. This is just textured plastic. And if you can see it there, there's a little bit of a tow hook in there as well. Again, these brake duct intakes are not mesh either. They are textured plastic. Headlights look pretty decent though, okay? Alright, taking a look at the back here. You can see the very large diffuser that it had, these cars had back then. It does not have carbon fiber texture, so that's a bit unfortunate. But the detail here on the back looks pretty good here. You can see the rear of the transmission. You can see the the various details on the lights and so on and so forth. So it doesn't look too bad. Okay, you can see that the wheels do have unfortunately a casting line there in the center, but that's okay, I guess, for the price point, because I think I paid about $80 for this model, so it was actually a pretty good value. As I said, the engine compartment doesn't open, but it, as you can see here, you can see the intakes here for the engine. You can see the two separate filler caps in case the fueling for the vehicle in the pits is on the left hand or the right hand side. And all these details up here are pretty nice. The stickers for the Le Mans scrutineers and everything looks pretty good there also. Okay, taking a look at the interior. Let's go ahead and get these doors open. I'll go ahead and open both doors, even though the left one doesn't open as well as the right one. But let's take a look in here, okay? Detail is pretty decent. Let me see if I can get some more light in here, just so you can see it a little bit better. Yeah, you can see here the steering wheel looks pretty good. The only issue that I have here is that the shifter is way forward. I don't know why they did that, but that's certainly not the way it would have been done in the real car, because you'd have to have orangutan arms to shift gears. You can see the detail on the dash is pretty decent, and you can see the pedals there too. Seats look pretty good. You can see the seats and the belts and so on and so forth in there. Actually, it is kind of hard to see it just because, it is so inboard, of the side of the car there. You have to climb over a gigantic sill to get into the seats, but let's see if that helps there, okay? Yeah, you can see that is pretty decent. See it better there. Looking in from the left-hand side, there's not much to see here because, well, there's not much going on the left-hand side, but you can see the fire extinguisher and another view of the dash in there as well. So all in all, for the price point, it is a pretty decent car. I'm pretty happy with it, and for this price point, I'm sure any other version of this that you would get would cost way more than this. So I definitely can recommend this car for you. And of course, speaking of recommend, if you could just go ahead and please like and subscribe to the channel if you had. You have yourself a great day, and thanks for watching.